Hi, it's Civanté from CorazonStone.com. I'm here in Corazon Stone's studio, and I've decided to release a set of brief recordings on Tantra. I guess you could call these Tantra talks. My experience of Tantra is a holistic experience. It's not something I think about with respect to the bedroom or orgasm or sexuality in its exclusion. Tantra is part of my everyday existence, more or less. Like most of us, many of us, I phase in and out of awareness. But what I have found at the same time is that the duration of time, if we want to call it that I remain in awareness continues to expand. Now, it's interesting to note that darkness, as an example, is non-existence. When you take a light, let's say a candle, and bring it into a dark room, the darkness dissipates. But there was nothing there to begin with. And the light has illuminated the space. Where did the darkness go? It wasn't there to begin with. It's a substrate. It's a backdrop, a canvas upon which existence is painted. There must be some backdrop in order for existence to be realized and actualized. And so this is what I find to be true about awareness, is the sensation of bringing light, bringing illumination to a darkened room. The room is still there, regardless. It's just a matter of whether or not there is illumination in the room. And when there is illumination in the room, many more things are able to be discovered and seen in their truest form, in the form that illumination provides to them. Now, also keep in mind that the illumination is emanating from us and reflecting back to I. What do I mean by that? I is an interpreter, and I interprets only what I has in the knowledge bank, in the memory system. I think that we can all agree that what is resident in our memory certainly does not reflect the totality of those things that we see before us. Tantra is a method by which we effectively step sideways, outside the realm of knowledge and the container of the known in our mind, and into the unknown. The illumination that we carry with us is light enough to expose truth. That truth is experienced in its fullest feature when we are existing as the observer outside of the intellect, outside of the self-critic, outside of the body of knowledge that is stored within our biological computing and storage systems. Now, having said that, of course, Tantra can be an excellent method by which we discover in our own bodies, in our own homes, in our own beds, in our own orgasms, the truth. And as the truth is experienced more richly, more fully, without the interpreter stepping in to categorize, the more we connect with everything around us. So our practice with a partner is very important. Yet that practice begins long before a partner is necessary. And partners are not necessary at all as we become more and more practiced with our own internal union. So it's both an external practice, Tantra, and an internal practice. These are not different. The external is not any different than the internal. However, we start somewhere, and we walk in this external world, and we observe this external world, and we are part of this external world. And so it's most convenient to start there. And as we continue to peel back layers of the external, we naturally come more towards the internal. As we descend deeper into the internal, we find that there is no difference. Like the sky, it exists inside the house and outside the house. Such is the same with all of existence. It exists within us and outside of us. There is no difference. However, our intellect and our self-critic has a certain interpretation of reality and existence, and it applies that interpretation on everything that we are exposed to. The method of Tantra is to set those definitions aside and feel into them. Tantra is intimacy with all things. Intimacy without weights and measures. The pure tonality of existence. This is why we crave orgasm. Oh, maybe we don't all crave it. But it's very desirable to us because in that space, approaching orgasm, and in the space of orgasm, the definition that exists within our intellect is not called upon. And we experience truth. We experience the feeling tone of truth. Union with all that surrounds us. Zen Buddhism calls this isness. All that is. We are part of all that is. We cannot be divided from it. It's also referred to in Hinduism as suchness. All of these things are referring to the same phenomenon. There is no separation between us and anything else. But our intellect has been raised to understand that there is a body, there is a mind, there is outside, there is inside. This is a survival technique which is very useful for us and is also an inhibitor at the same time. So these Tantra talks are going to go deeper into techniques. These are simply practices that I have utilized over the years, and I am offering them to you. Perhaps they help you, perhaps they don't. But everyone's path is different. So I'm offering them to you in love and kindness. And I look forward to hearing your comments. Please send me messages, emails. I will be posting these on my website, corazonstone.com, social media platforms of choice. Thank you for listening. I'm Civanté at corazonstone.com.